Alright, Shalom.
Shalom.
Giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone that rule impeccably well. And Shalom to the Akim that's pushing his truth in sincerity across the four winds, man. This is the brother Yakanan, and I have the brother
Razama.
And we're just gonna do a video regarding, staying diligent in this truth, man. Anyone that's been bestowed with this truth, this gift, man, the gift of faith. We're supposed to be occupied in prophecy, man. We're supposed to be doing the work in season and out of season, man. And we're supposed to be diligent, as it tells us in the scriptures, man. Right? So we just want to get into a few scriptures, just homing in on those points in particular, man. Because we're in serious times right now. We're in a year of prophecy, as coined by the elder apostle Tahar. So this is the time more than ever for us to keep the momentum going and not slack concerning Yahweh Hashem Yahushai's work.
Alright, it says Matthew 24:13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
So it says, he that shall endure unto the end, meaning until the time that Yahweh Shai, right, the heavenly son of Yahweh, cracks those clouds. We're supposed to endure until that time, man, because when Yahweh Hashem Yahushai makes his return, that is going to be the end, man. That's the end of all the other prophecies coming to pass. That's the fulfillment of everything written in the scriptures, man, concerning our salvation out of this kingdom, right? So he that shall endure unto the end,
right, the same shall be saved.
The same shall be saved, man. So how do you expect to get freed out of this kingdom? How do you expect to get delivered in that day, man? Unless you endure unto the end, man, as it tells us in the scriptures.
And also you get them Christians saying that they're saved, but this ain't, things haven't even got bad yet.
Yeah.
We say you can still go get your food from Tesco, whatever, what have you, right? Whatever stores that you shop at, right? Times of tribulation, times of Jacob's trouble hasn't even begun yet. So how are you saved?
Yeah, and what are you guys enjoying in the Christian church, man? You guys are not actually enjoying anything, man. All you're doing is going to church on a Sunday. You're not worshiping Yahweh Hashem Yahushai in spirit and in truth. You're not enjoying anything, man.
Right. This is Sirach 2 verse 2. To set thy heart aright and constantly endure.
So set your mind aright and constantly endure, man.
I start from the wrong part.
That's alright, bro. Go, bro.
It says Sirach 2:1 says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure.
So the scriptures say, if we want to serve Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, we're supposed to prepare ourselves for temptation, man. Right? Because we're going to be tempted in this truth on many different occasions, man. There'll be many what should I call it? Instances where Satan is going to tempt you to do the wrong thing, man. Satan is going to tempt you to not do the work as much as you're supposed to do the work, man. He's going to put obstacles in your way. But even when them obstacles present themselves, you still got to remain in the spirit of doing this work, man, because you got to do this work like your life depends on it, man. If you're not thinking that your actual life depends on this, on pushing this word, then you haven't got the right mind state, man.
That's right.
It really does. Your life depends on this. Your salvation depends on you doing this work in sincerity, man.
That's right. It goes on to say, cleave unto him and depart not away.
Cleave unto him and depart not away, man. So we're supposed to cleave unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and not depart from him, man. So how do you stay near to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai? By staying near into these scriptures, man. Right? Shrouding yourself in these scriptures, shrouding yourself in the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and fulfilling his commandments, man, of pushing his truth. That's how you stay near unto the Lord, man. Right?
Yep. It says that thou cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
So if we do these things, right, we're going to be increased at the last end. We're going to be increased in that day of salvation, man. Right? It says in the twinkling of an eye we shall be changed, man. We're going to be increased, man. The hope for elect, man. That's what we're seeking. That's what we're doing this for, man. Right? well, you know, the scriptures say, what after doing all these things, still call yourselves unprofitable servants, right? So you're not supposed to be doing this work unsincerely, right? You're supposed to be doing it in sincerity. Come on, bro.
This is 2 Corinthians 4:17. So for our light affliction, right, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory.
God, and you know, as the scripture said, it's a light affliction, man. You know, what we're going through on this side, right? Catching hell, well, we call it hell, but sometimes it's not even hell, man. You know, sometimes it's really just a light affliction. We got to see that sometimes, man.
Sometimes it's self-inflicted.
Sometimes it's self-inflicted as well. Sometimes you're doing things, right? Like me, I've done that before, man. I've put certain hell on myself that it just didn't have to be that way. Yeah. You know, you'll get into situations like
that. Bubble park on double yellow line and be like, oh, hell, I got a ticket.
Hey, you can't call that hell, man. That's self-inflicted hell, man. That's self-harm. You know, you get them goths, they be cutting their wrist and that. That's self-harm, man. You know, you didn't have to do that. You know, you didn't have to do that. The Lord is merciful, man. He gave us a brain to use, man. So a lot of time you just got to use your head. But still, we're going to catch hell, man. Being in this truth, you're going to catch hell. Because we're gold being tried, man. Right? To make ourselves purified. The Lord is purifying us, man. Putting us through that stage. So even when you do catch hell, right? You got to rejoice in that, man. Because the apostles of old and the prophets, they caught hell, man. You know, they caught all kinds of hell. And within the times of them catching hell, they rejoice, man. They rejoice, man. You know?
It says Hebrews 12:6 says, for whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth.
God, so, hey, catching hell means Yahweh Hashem Yahushua loves you, man. Right, he's dealing with you as you would deal with your son, right? And that's how you know that the Lord is dealing with you, because you're going to be catching a certain amount of hell in this truth, man. But it's not going to be like that 24/7. The Lord is also ever merciful, man. That's another thing we got to remember. So it's going to be all within balance, man. The Lord is not going to give you anything that you can't handle.
If I may say, when I knew this one guy, the guy that, you know, that the Lord used to get me in his truth and that. There was a point in time that he just started catching hell. And it was hell after hell after hell with no reprieve. Right? And at that point, you got to ask yourself, shit, am I going off? Am I doing something I ain't? And it turned out he was doing shit he wasn't supposed to do, man. He was committing adultery. He was saying, look, man, I'm going to deal with this Edomite's girlfriend because he's not a Jake. Therefore, you know, all of that madness trying to say, hey, what? Say just because a woman's boyfriend isn't of Israel that he basically commit adultery. What did Joseph say? Joseph said to Pharaoh's wife, I will not sin against Yahweh.
Can't.
Right, and then so basically just on what you were saying about this guy, when if you get to a point where all you're getting is catching hell, like Bob said, Lord is merciful. You'll catch some hell, but that hell will have a counterbalance that will help you grow in the truth in one way or another. Right, but if you're just catching hell for catching hell's sake with no reprieve, no nothing, you've got to ask yourself at that point, shit, am I going off, or what's happening? Right, but other instances, look at Job. You know, Job caught all of that hell. Right, and then the Lord at the end of the day was like, alright, cool, hey, you know, everything's all right now.
For real. Hey, because sometimes, like you're saying, bro, like, sometimes the Lord will give you like a roller coaster ride, where you'll be up and down, but sometimes you can be down for a long time, and then up for a short time. Because like, the Lord's ways is not our ways, man. Right, the way the Lord, you know, gives certain brothers hell is all different, man. It's not always the same. And that's a great example of using Job as well, because that would seem like just a downward spiral. You know what I mean? I didn't see the, you know, you couldn't really see the light at the end of the tunnel for a long time. Because the Lord wanted to put a certain amount of hell on that man, so we can look back at that story, man, and see how merciful Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is, and see the levels of hell that you can actually get, man. You know? Because that's a man of the Lord, man. Job is a man of the Lord. And the Lord put all of that hell on the man of the Lord, man. But look at all the hell that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, had put on Yahushua's son. And that pleased him to put his son through that, man. Because he loved his son very much, man. You know?
Right, it goes on to say, Hebrews 12:7, if ye endure chastening, the Most High dealeth with you as with sons.
God, as with sons, man. And what do you do, you know, in this kingdom if your son goes off, man? You have to correct your son.
Yeah, you take off that belt, man.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm gonna be doing that in a few months, man. You know, that's a few years. You know, hey, that's what you gotta do. You gotta correct them, man, because it's gonna purify them and it's gonna make them know right from wrong, man. So that's the same thing Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is doing with his people of Israel, man, the elect of Israel. Same thing. He's chastising them so they know what not to do when they get into the kingdom, man.
That's right. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? But if ye be without chastisement, wherefore are all partakers? Then ye are bastards and not sons.
Hey, because what the scriptures also say, you spare the word, you spoil the child, man. You know? So the Lord loves his people, man. That's why he's putting his head on us, man. You know? That's out of love. That's in the law, man.
Yes, I'll go back to Sirach 2. I'm jump to verse 14. Because the whole chapter is good, really. In fact, I'll read verse 10 and verse 14.
Yeah.
Alright, so verse 10 says, look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? Right? Because, like I said, you'll be going through certain things, right? But you just have to maintain your trust in the Lord, because the Lord never forsook anyone, right? He didn't lead the children of Israel out into Egypt and just leave them there. Right? And verse 14 it says, woe unto you that have lost patience. What will you do when the Lord shall visit you? Right? And with that one, it's the same thing. Those are the people that didn't endure until the end. They lost patience. They didn't want to endure anymore. They were catching hell, and they were like, you know what, fuck this shit. Which is not shit. You get what I'm saying? They were like, you know, fuck this, man. I'm gonna go back into the world. You know, now I can be a drug dealer. Now I can sell, sell weed and all of that shit.
I got a job now.
Yeah, I got a job now. Right, because they didn't want to endure, and ultimately those guys, they weren't meant to get it anyway.
That's right. That's right, man. Yeah, man. So you got certain guys that they fall back into the world because they come into the truth. Because when you do come into the truth, there's a period where you're gonna catch a lot of hell, man. You know, and if you're not used to that, it comes as a shock to some people because they're not rooted and they have no foundations in this truth, man. So what do? They stop preaching the word, and they find an excuse to stop preaching the word. You know? So the Lord has set those guys up to fall out anyway, man, because any man of the Lord that has been ordained by Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is not going to fall out of the truth, man. You know? Especially if you're catching a little bit of hell. It's a part of the package, man. When you sign the contract to start preaching this gospel, the contract actually says you are going to catch hell. Right? You can't say that it was slid in there somewhere, you didn't see it. That's a part of the agreement, man. You know?
It says Acts 14 and 22 says, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of the Most High.
Through much tribulation we must enter into the kingdom of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. So there's a lot of things we're going to go through, and to be honest, we haven't actually seen nothing yet, man. Right? We haven't seen nothing yet, man. The things that are going to be coming to the men of the Lord to endure is going to be on a whole next level. And it's only Yahweh Hashem Yahushai that's going to give those men the strength to actually enjoy in that time, man. But as of now, it hasn't even started yet, man. That real time of endurance and to really test your soul, the RFID chip isn't here yet. It hasn't been implemented as mandatory yet, man. So what are you guys going to do when that actually happens?
And that's why, all those guys that are falling out over these small issues. So man, they wouldn't have made it anyway, man.
Yeah.
They're complaining because they ain't got a job. But these times, there's you got the brothers will help you out, man.
Yeah.
Brothers will help you out. There's a million services, in respective countries that will help you out if you're in a low position for a period of time, right? But then, what happens when there is none of that? What happens when there is no food? Hey, brothers may not all be together during that time.
That's right. That's right.
That's what you go and do then, man.
Who knows where we're gonna be? You know, so some brothers might be somewhere, you know, out there hiding. Some brothers might be in concentration camps, various other places. Some brothers might just be on the run somewhere, man. It's gonna be a really crazy time, man. And it's something that we can't predict. So that's why these scriptures, that it's gotta be your foundation, man. It's gotta be your foundation to get through them times, man. And you gotta have faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Because without that, you're gonna be through. You're gonna fold in that day, man. You know, you're not even gonna make it 2 seconds. As soon as martial law kicks off, you're gonna lose all faith and crumble up into a little ball, man.
Yep. It says Romans 15:4, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through much patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
Yeah, hey. Read that again, Brother Kashaz.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime are written for our learning.
So all of these things in the scriptures, all of these comforting scriptures that, you know, foretell the prophecy of what's going to happen in the days, that's written there for our learning, man. That's written there so we can see what is expected of us and what is expected in the kind of spirit that we're supposed to have in that day, man. Right? We've got the trailer to what's actually going to happen. The Lord has given us that foresight into the situation, man. Right? Carry on, bro.
Right? That we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
Patience and comfort through the scriptures, man. That's where our hope lies, man. Right? Believing in this word, man. That's supposed to comfort you. That's supposed to bring solace to your spirit, man, when you read these words, man. Right? When you read the Gospels, that's supposed to bring great solace to your spirit, man. Reading what the apostles actually went through, you know, when they were taken in by the authorities, you know, when they were chastised for the sake of Yahushua's name. All of these things are supposed to comfort you. So when it actually starts happening to you, you're going to say, okay, this is actually already written down. I already know the ending to this one, you know? That's going to give you that confidence, man. That's going to make you be bold as a lion in that day, man.
Yeah, which is why also it says in Sirach 2:10, in let me get it again so I don't butcher it. It says, look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded, right? Which is direct precept to Romans 15:4.
Yeah.
Because you look at the generations of old. Like Bro was saying, you look at the apostles when they were cast into prison, right? And the Lord delivered them, right? At that time, it was such that they need, you know, some of them got put to death. But as the apostles said, on this time around, that ain't, you know, that not every brother's gonna get put to death, man.
Exactly.
Some brothers will.
Yeah.
You know, but that's not the lot for you know, it's not gonna be like last time where all of us were going through that. Right? Then you look at you know, all of the stories where, for instance, the deliverance from Egypt. Right? You had the Red Sea, the Gulf of what was it?
Suez.
It's the Gulf of Suez behind us, right? And the Egyptian army in the front.
Yeah.
And the Lord basically was like, yo, bam, come on and do this. At that point, you're thinking, man, you know, I know them Israelites looking at me, oh, man, you brought us out here to die here? To die like this? You know, and the Lord just made a miracle. It's like, bam.
Out of nothing. They didn't see that coming, man.
Right? Lord fed prophets with was it Elijah?
Yeah,
with ravens. Then there was another time where he goes, you know, there's a famine in the land. He goes to what you call it? There's this lady's house. This lady's about to have her last meal or something like that. If I remember the story correctly, he used some flour and some oil, and then top us up. But he was like, don't do that, man. And the Lord kept refilling that oil and that flour up until the end of the famine, man. Why? Because the Lord can do that. But you at that point, you're thinking, shit. You know, we're done, we're through. Right, but that's where that faith in the Lord comes.
That's right, man.
Right, and also because it's like the scripture said. Let me get it real quick. Isaiah 65:13 says, therefore thus saith the Lord power, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed.
That's right, man. That's right. We're going to eat in that day, man. Lord willing, if we are men of the Lord, in that day when all the chaos is going down, when people are running to and fro, they're losing their minds. There's no food in Asda's, there's no food in Tesco's, everywhere is shut down. There's blood on the streets. You got to envision these things, man. But you got to remember if you have faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, in that day you're gonna eat, man. It doesn't matter if you physically can't see any food in front of you. You gotta understand the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. You know, by just a click of a finger, or just by imagination, the Lord can just make a whole rack of ribs, lamb ribs, appear right in front of you, man.
Cooked as well.
Cooked.
Seasoned. And Lord made water come out of a stone, man.
Can't. For real, man. That's the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. So even when you think you're about to die, no, man. The Lord can just, that's it, man. And He's gonna make that food appear in front of you, man. Or the Lord can just sustain you where you just don't even want for food in that time. And you're still alive, just walking around with all the energy you need. The Lord can do anything, man. The power of the Lord cannot be underestimated, man. You know, all things are possible.
And it's all about faith.
Exactly.
It's all about faith, because the Lord might try you, man.
Yep.
I mean, you could go 3 days without food, 4 days, because what we said, it's hour of temptation, man.
Yeah.
So it's just up there in the heavens, chance. What's this nigga gonna do?
Yeah.
All right, cool. He's gonna go take the chip now? Was he gonna take the chip?
Yeah.
Nah, he ain't taking the chip. All right, man. You passed the test, man. Nah, go eat, man.
Innit? That's what it is, man. Hey, even if you have faith as a drop of a mustard seed, you shall be able to move mountains, man. That's the capabilities that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua has given us, man. And the mustard seed is a very, very small seed, man. If you see what mustard seed is. But what does it turn into? It can turn into an abundance, man. Right? So even with that small ounce of faith that the Lord has given you, that's going to work to you as an abundance of faith, man. In the end. You know?
This is Hebrews 11:6. But without faith it is impossible to please Him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that He is, and that He is a rewarder of them that diligently seek Him.
That's right, man. So it's impossible to please Yahweh Hashem Yahushua if you do not have the faith, man. And the scriptures say that faith is a gift from Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So that's how you know that the men of the Lord have been preordained. The one that do have the faith, they've been preordained from the beginning, man. Because the Lord has already supplied them with that gift of faith. You know? And that's that, man. I mean, I want to cut it off there, man. I think we pretty much covered the points we wanted to cover, man. You know, unless you got anything else you want to say, brother.
I think we heard it.
Alright, man. Well, Lord willing, we hope this lesson was edifying. And you know, brothers out there, just enjoy, man. You know, keep this truth, this gospel, this ministry at the forefront of your agenda, man. You know, and keep the momentum going. And with that, shalom.